guys? Welcome back to another episode, World Cup edition. It's just me and Luis this time. It's good. How are you, man?
I'm doing good, man. Great World Cup we're having, man. I'm enjoying it at least from a neutral perspective. Not much for the gambling wise, you know. I mean, there's a few that I've hit, but other than that, it's been a fun World Cup, man. A whole bunch of upsets, just like the one we have right now in the background. You know, Argentina,
Oh yeah.
huge upset, man. Pessi choked, even though he did score a penalty. You know, they said he was in their pocket, but yeah, we'll start on that game, man. What do you think?
I think it's wild, man. Like Argentina definitely had possession. They had way more shots, and it just shows you that with the World Cup, anything can happen, bro. Anything can happen. You can't underestimate anyone. You know, Saudi Arabia had 3 shots, and 2 of those, were goals. I know they called the offside on Messi as well.
And a controversial call as well, cause I think it was the Messi assist to Lautaro Martinez goal, which they said that they checked the wrong person. I think they checked the center back or the furthest to the right, which might have been the right back, and then the left back left him onside, but they drew the wrong line. I don't know how certain that is, but it was. But then again, the penalty for Argentina shouldn't have been a penalty. It was soft in my opinion, but
Yeah, I mean, but all in all, bro, like, I agree. Like, with the competition this big, like, you can't afford to have those mistakes, in my opinion.
yeah,
But
especially with the technology they're putting out there too.
exactly, the technology, having VAR, you can't have those mistakes. But at the end of the day, like, it's in that side of the world. We don't know what's involved as far as financially, like,
Dude, but it's crazy. I think Qatar's like put out the most money in this World Cup that like any other country has ever had. And I mean, I don't think they even had a stadium ready for the World Cup when they got
It's crazy.
the World Cup. Like gifted to them, handed to them, because I mean it was
Yeah,
all
over there.
controversy. But regardless of that, I think Saudi Arabia, man, they're a strong team. No one expected them. I mean, I woke up at 5 a.m. trying to make some money, but woke up at 5 a.m. and lost money.
Same.
Regardless, I don't like Argentina, but I mean, no one would have thought that Saudi Arabia was gonna win. I did think, I was like, you know what, Saudi Arabia, they've had like a couple of friendlies. They had like 5, 6 friendlies right before the World Cup. Why? They even paused their league in order for the national team to start playing together. So they have that chemistry. They stuck to it. They're playing. They've been playing well for the last few weeks. And yes, they probably played like much easier opponents, but just that fact that they've had more time together than any other country right now. You can have all these stars like Portugal, Argentina, Brazil, all these stars in one team, but if they're not playing together, you're not gonna have that chemistry, man. You're not gonna have all that. And Saudi Arabia, like I said, they took time off their league. I think they put it on pause, and they had a couple of friendlies. All this team, are they all been playing together? So that gives them a lot of, it gives them chemistry, and that's why they're balling out there like they did against Argentina. I mean, it might just be one fluke game, who knows? But I think that was a big part of it. Argentina's always had the issues that they're a very good squad on paper, and then when it comes down to it, they choke. Messi ends up choking too. I mean, he did score that penalty, but I mean, we'll see. I mean, it was a big upset, but we'll see how it goes. I mean,
Yeah, there's still a lot of football. I mean, luckily obviously with it being a point system, I mean, Argentina they have no other option but to start winning. And I do think it's a wild that the Saudi Arabian
oh, maybe the national
yeah,
holiday. Yeah,
national
that's crazy.
holiday.
Hey, I think if El Salvador or Honduras ever
Facts.
ever did something like
National
that,
holiday.
that would have been like the whole week would have been off, man. Especially with El Salvador's new president, that man's would have declared it like
Yeah.
an every year type thing, man. It's crazy. I mean, I was happy for them, man. It's crazy. I love seeing it's a Cinderella story, seeing these underdogs win. Like when Costa Rica had that one run in the World Cup, man. It's amazing to see as a neutral fan. I know Argentinians were mad, but let them have it, man. Let them enjoy this one moment. They deserved it. They played their hearts out, man. They fucking that second goal was a fucking banger, man. I'm not even gonna lie, that was a banger.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah, and the other thing is too, like, so many people are like they look to Messi automatically, but it just shows you football is a team sport, man. Like
Yeah.
every person is so vital, and obviously we're all gonna look at Messi and be like, man, Messi choked, but at the end of the day, the whole Argentinian team at the end of the day had to perform.
did you see that there was an interview? This guy was trying to interview after the game, right? Some random reporter, and then he was like, he was just recording, right? He was trying to ask people questions, and then like Saudi Arabia fans just came out of nowhere, and they're like, Like they grabbed the guy's mic. They're like, "Where is he? Where is he?" And the guy's like, "What are you talking about?" And then he was like looking at his pocket. He was like, "Where is he?" And he was like, "What are you looking for?" He's like, "Messi." Like, I can't find him. I was like, "Yeah, they pocketed Messi, man." Yeah, that shit had me dying. But man, it was props. Shout out to Saudi Arabia, man. They balled out. They played one hell of a game, and props to them. And hopefully they can turn out in the next few games. But I think that's enough about Argentina and Saudi Arabia.
I was gonna say let's you alluded to chemistry and how important chemistry is, and on the last episode I talked about how I expected Germany to be like head over heels above other teams because half the team plays for Bayern Munich. So I'm like, these fools really do play all year round together.
Yeah.
What did you think about that performance against Japan? Shout out to Japan, by the way.
Man, I think everyone that's watched like anime and like grew up like just there's a few players in like everyone's heart that like Kagawa, that if you're like a diehard like football fan that you grew up watching. So everyone has like a piece of love, for Japan. Everyone loves them, even after the game. I don't know if you've noticed that they're always like, their fans are amazing. They like clean up no matter who's playing.
Yeah.
They clean up. Their locker room, they left this like spotless, and and you're thinking professional players, and a lot of them play in Europe. They're making a lot of money. It's not just like, oh, they're like, they're playing in Japan. They're probably like, this and that. That's how they are. It's like, it doesn't matter, bro. Like, no matter how much money they have, they're very humble. And then that's amazing. But besides all that, man, I think they're a very good team. Germany played a really good game in the first half. And then I was joking. I was like, they need my boy Tomiyasu back in the second half, and then he's gonna change their game. And it was a joke. I said it as a joke that if he comes in, Japan's defense is gonna it's gonna, they're gonna be really strong at the back. They're gonna be very solid, and it turned out to be that way, man. Because Tomiyasu is a big presence, and I know you're a defender, and you're not gonna attack as much. But just having that defender back there, like if I play in a team right now and I'm playing 11v11 or whatever, and then I can beat, if I have a good defender behind me and I'm playing like midfielder, I know like. Yeah, I'm like, I have that stress off my shoulders, and then I can push up a little more, and you have that. That brick wall in the back that if anything, like, they got your back. And then that changed the whole game, man. Japan had really good chances, man, and they put them away. And then they deserved that win, in my opinion.
Absolutely. That was one team where I'm like, from start to finish, like, obviously they went down a goal really quickly, and they never, like, put their heads down. And it's just a testament to, like you said, the culture and just, the Japanese people, they don't give up. They don't quit. They keep fighting, and that shows you, like, from minute 1 to minute 90 plus, they were in the game, and you had a sense of like at any moment they could win this, and on defensively, like you said, in any given moment they had like 6 or 7 people in the box, bro.
Dude,
like,
they were
all in and all fighting for each other, and even the goalkeeper was on point.
And
like, there was a lot of shots on target. He was like deflecting left and right.
No, he was balling out, and I think Germany, as much as they want to try and give Havertz a chance. I know he's been criticized a lot, and I've been one of those people. I think Havertz isn't for the role of playing a lone striker on a German team. I don't see him. I don't know who else you could put. I think Werner might be injured. I don't know who else you could put, but I oversee him like a cam or a false 9, and maybe that's the way he's been playing, but I don't know. I think if they had a much better striker or someone more clinical up top, I think Germany has a really good, strong defense. A couple of people like Nico from Dortmund, he had a little, scrappy moments. Sule, he's not as fast, but they're a really good team. We'll see. Hopefully they pick it up. But props to Japan, man. They balled out.
Facts, man. I agree. With that, we can wrap up Japan, but. Shout out Japan. That was really impressive, and
yeah,
they were definitely a team that I personally didn't expect. I also lost money on that game because I was like, man, there's no way Germany loses this one. And,
yeah,
that's another World Cup surprise.
Stop betting on the World Cup.
Let's talk about England and Iran, bro. Like that was
my boy Saka balled out, man. Everybody's like, oh, just
Saka.
Yeah, and then some people are like, oh, it's just Iran, bro. It doesn't matter if it's just Iran. Like, they're in the World Cup, and I think Iran is like ranked like 20th or 25th in the world, which is, it's a big test. It is the World Cup, and you have the best countries in the world playing. You're not there for no reason. Like, and Saka, he could have had his hat trick if he stayed in the game, but it shows you how much of a baller he is. Stepping up in the biggest stage, at least of his career so far. And and stepping up and scoring 2 goals. I think, I mean, for England, his first game, he got man of the match in the Euros for his first like senior call up, and then for his first major World Cup tournament, he gets man of the match again. England has a really good strong squad. They have, dude. If you take out Saka, you bring in Foden. You have Grealish. You have Madison, dude. They're stacked everywhere, and I think they have a really good chance to go far, man.
They are definitely a team to watch. I think where they lack is defensively. I mean, obviously they didn't have much of a test, but even the goals that Iran scored, like the first goal that they scored, the second was a penalty, but the first goal they scored was very, like, one of those goals where I'm like,
Very sloppy.
yeah, it was a very sloppy defensive play. But I mean, obviously with more playing time and more exposure and playing together, I mean they have time. And obviously we all know that Harry Maguire doesn't start anymore, so for him to not start for his club but start for England is like, it shows you the levels. And but no,
Yeah.
absolutely, Saka offensively they're there, man. And even Harry Kane is one of those.
Imagine 6 goals being scored and Kane isn't one of those.
It's crazy.
That's
yeah. And I lost money there too, so yeah.
Stop betting on the World Cup.
But no, it tells you like, and he was very vital into a lot of these goals because he was the assist man. So when you have a striker selfless like that
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like, obviously he would want to score, but when he doesn't score, he also finding other players. Like Rashford came in, he assisted him immediately, and so yeah, it's gonna be exciting and interesting to see. And like you said, like, yeah, people obviously like, oh, don't get oversized, it's just Iran, but at the end of the day, you got to beat what's in front of you. And we talked about 2 teams that on paper should have won. And they lost
Exactly.
So, we can see both spectrums and both sides. And obviously, England take care of business, and it's gonna be exciting. We can even talk about England and USA. Like,
oh yeah,
what do you expect from that game?
I mean, it's gonna be a fun one. Hopefully, everyone's excited for it. I mean, it's on Black Friday. A lot of Americans are off, and I know in England, I know it's probably nighttime, so everybody's gonna be home watching it, and just like history being involved, I know America doesn't have much of like soccer, in past history, but just in history being involved with like England, with the UK, and like the USA, it should be an exciting game. I know a lot of people that don't watch soccer are gonna watch that game. They're gonna go to bars. I know DC is gonna be popping. Like Arlington's probably gonna be a whole bunch of people watching. It's gonna be it's one of the later games on schedule. So it should be exciting, man. USA, they look very disappointed. Hopefully the USA can pick it up. They
had some injuries, right, too? Or
I think, yeah, they played really hard, and I think Gio Reyna should have started. He's been doing really good, and
I thought he's not hurt, is he?
no, he was on the bench. I don't even think he came on. And then Aronson from what does he play for, Leeds United? He came on as a sub. I thought he should have started as well, but we'll see. Maybe there's some changes next game. I mean, USA didn't really impress me like, let's say, Canada did from the CONCACAF. They Canada against Belgium, they really did well. I mean, Davies missed that penalty, but I think it should be a good game. I still think England takes it, to be honest, even though we're repping for USA to win, but I still think England has a much stronger squad.
I think so too. I think it's gonna be pretty much. I think England's gonna win like comfortably, but at the end of the day, it all depends on defensively how USA can handle that attack.
And that's always been their issue. They've always had a good attackers and a well-rounded midfield. Adams is a really good midfielder. Pulisic, he's already balled out. They have Whale, I forget how to say his name. He's doing good. I mean, they have a good attack and a good midfielder. I think it's always their defense that's a little off. And if you honestly, and I think if you have Kane coming at you, you have Saka coming at you, you have Sterling coming at you, it's gonna be tough, man. I see a couple of goals in this game. I think probably I think at least like 4 goals in my opinion, bro. At least 4 goals. Or it could be fucking boring. It could be a 0-0 again, and which sucks. This World Cup is so many 0-0s, man. It's
I think England wins comfortably, and I agree with you. At the end of the day, the one bright side about the USA this year is obviously the World Cup next time around is coming. And this team is young, bro. Like a lot of 23 and under. So
and a lot of them most of them play in Europe too.
Absolutely. So it's gonna be exciting. I mean, I think this year they need to obviously the goal is to try to win the World Cup, but I feel like the expectation isn't really there. Like people kind of know.
Dude, as long as they get out the group stage.
Yeah, exactly. Get out the group stage and get that exposure and just have that urge, not urge, but like if you get a tough loss in a round of 16, like it's gonna motivate you next time around to
Yeah.
perform.
I mean, because last World Cup, USA didn't make it. They lost.
Yeah.
They didn't even make it to the World Cup.
But that's a lot of those people were old. And
No,
they
yeah,
took
yeah,
them
and
on,
then
so-
all these guys were way too young to like be called up or be starting. So, and I think this game against Wales, USA should have definitely won. And I knew it was just gonna be Wales just gonna sit back and just play kickball to Gareth Bales. And that's what happened, man. And then he got that penalty, and Bale's not gonna put it in. Hey, that's one bet I did win though. But other than that, man, I mean, I don't think Wales. I think what's crazy. This is Wales' like first World Cup in like 30 something years, and ever since I've been watching like football, it's always been the same players. Like you have Ramsey, you have Gareth Bale, and you have Davies, like and Hennessy, and then it's like, and I've seen them play for so long, and then this is like and it's insane. It's his first World Cup, and and I don't know. They got to do something better, man. You're gonna tie against USA. That's tough, man. And then I don't know, but we'll see, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's move on to a little bit of a slower paced game. Uruguay versus South Korea.
First game not to ever have at least one shot on target in World Cup history.
That's crazy. And then the other stat line that you talked about 0-0s in this World Cup.
Man, so I've talking about bets again. We were looking into it, some of my friends and I, that at least the last World Cup that I recall, I think there was only one game that had a 0-0 draw, and every single game had at least one goal. And this World Cup, there's already been a few games that's been 0-0. And I think that shows the fact that this World Cup is also during the winter, during mid-season, and a lot of the times, a lot of these players are coming back really tired. And it dates back all the way from COVID, man. A lot of these players haven't rested as much. All these competitions, all these tournaments that FIFA's trying to, yeah, that man's a track star out there. But regardless, he's still balling out. He played good against Costa Rica. But yeah, I think that's why these 0-0s are showing, man. Because I think a lot of these players are tired, and it's just been one game, and I've seen these teams like fatigued, and it's also, I know the weather, it's a little hotter. That's why they moved the World Cup into the winter, and it's still hot, and I think that plays a big role of it. And that's why they're showing a lot of 0-0s. These players are tired. And it's one game. Imagine they got to play back in like 2-3 days later. They're gonna be tired, man. And maybe that shows that maybe there's gonna be more goals now because the defenders are gonna be a little more tired, more fatigued. But I think that's the big reason why there's a lot of 0-0s because mid-season, no breaks, get like a 1 week break, couple days break, start the World Cup, and right after the World Cup, you got to go back and play.
That's another thing I was gonna allude to. The Prem starts literally like a week after the World
Dude,
Cup.
it's
like ridiculous, and everyone knows like the Premier League is no joke, and even that's like that one competition that we're not in anymore.
Dude, I'm glad, dude,
because
because
people are like, oh, thank God, let's keep it.
Dude, I didn't want, I didn't.
Let's just try to win the league. But we're obviously not, or Europa in the league, and that's it. Because with the World Cup, and then you're gonna have. I mean, we have a player. We have a couple players on Brazil, so they may be playing all the way through. We have a couple guys on England. They may be playing all the way through. So it just shows you like we that's why me and Luis always talk about how obviously like in the summer we're like Saka should be playing, Ben White should be playing.
Yeah, nah.
Like, if they're not playing,
I'm chilling. If they don't play, everybody's like, "Oh, where's your boy? Where's Ben White or where's Ramsey?" I'm like, dude, I don't care. They could chill on the bench, bro. Like as long as they're healthy. Like they're like, "Where's your boy Saliba? I thought he was so good." I'm like, he is. I don't mind if he's on the bench. He could ride the bench all tournament.
Yeah.
And
apparently they had the friendly with the backup guys. I didn't like hearing about that. Like France and I think someone else had like a friendly with the bench players.
Oh really? I didn't see it.
I'm like, heck no, man. Rest.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I mean, but yeah, no, absolutely. That's gonna be interesting, and I hope that hopefully Arteta gives them like one more week rest. You know how when Thomas Partey came back from the American Cup of Nations, he was gassed, and I think he played like immediately, picked up a yellow, and like he had like really bad game.
It was a rough start because they're tired, man.
So they're exhausted. Yeah, they're human beings. Like too many times we forget like they're human beings.
Yeah.
And, like even gambling, like sometimes I'm like, oh, the guy's coming off a back-to-back. I don't care. I'm playing for like 20 points, and he goes and wets the bed. And it's like, you get mad, but I'm like, oh, he's human. He's tired. He's probably.
But then you're like, oh, he gets paid millions, bro. Like he should be putting up 10 points, bro. Yeah, should be playing 10 points, man. Like.
Yeah, no. Let's talk about Spain real quick. 7-0, man. Like,
Man.
was that impressive? Was it a testament to how good Spain is, or was it a testament to how bad Costa Rica was?
See, man, I honestly Costa Rica coming into the World Cup, they weren't as strong as they were in that one World Cup that they showed out and balled out, where Navas, got noticed by Madrid and all that. And I didn't think it was gonna be 7-0. I knew it was gonna be like at least 3-4 goals. That's what I thought pregame. Costa Rica doesn't really have much, except for like Navas and a few other players. I think Joel Campbell's still playing there. That he's been in the game for so long now. But I feel bad for Navas, man, because he's such a good goalie. But on paper, it looks like he on paper it looks like I think he had like a 2 point something rating on FootMod or something, and I was like, bro, he's such a good goalie, man. It was tough. No, Spain has a really good squad, man. They have young talent, Gavi, Pedri. Hey, but don't get too cocky out there, man. You guys are playing Costa Rica, and all these Barca fans are like, but see, that's the difference. At least for us, like, if Saka balls out, okay, that's fine. You balled out, you did your work. But if he's rested and he doesn't play, I'm happy. I want him to come back healthy and not injured, right? But these guys, these Barca fans they're wild, man. They're like, oh, this is Barca winning. This is Barca. I get it. You guys have a whole bunch of like Barca players on the team, bro. But at the end of the day, that's gonna come and haunt you because they're not winning anything for Barca, bro. You're not from Spain.
Exactly.
You're like, if you're from Spain and you support Barca, I get it. You're happy. But if you're like, if you're from like Falls Church, Virginia, talking about like, or like, I don't know, anywhere else, bro, and talking about like, oh, they're balling out, they're doing it for Spain, bro. Like, no, like, yeah.
You're right though. At the end of the day, like, too many people get too caught up on like what they're doing on the national level, and that's like, bro, like I said, it's not coming back to Barcelona when it.
Yeah, it's like if England wins the World Cup, I'm happy for Bukayo Saka, Ramsey, and Ben White. But I'm not from England. I don't support England. I'll support and cheer on my boys. Simple as that. But I'm not gonna be like, oh, England won, we won. No, come back to Arsenal and win something for us, like the hell. Or like Brazil wins, Martinelli. I'm grateful for you. I like Brazil. I've always liked Brazil, and I support them. I'm not from Brazil, but it as long as they come back and win something for us, that's what matters to me.
And the funny thing is, you know what? When England won that big of a margin, everyone's like, oh, it's sliced down. It's just
it's just Iran or whatever.
And then when Spain won
yeah,
like this,
exactly. No, my boy was telling me. One of my boys was like,
keep that same energy.
my boy was like, oh, calm down. It was Iran. Bukayo Saka scored 2 goals, man of the match. And then when Pedri and Gavi like went off against Costa Rica, they're like, oh, best midfielders in the world. I'm like, bro, relax. It was Costa Rica, bro. Golden Boy winner, bro. That joint was fucking. Yeah, I'm here.
Shout out Sam.
Lástima.
And then let's I know we didn't get to talk about all the teams. Netherlands.
Talked about the big matchups.
Let's talk about Brazil and Serbia. What do you think is gonna happen in this game? And then we'll wrap up.
It should be. I mean, Serbia has a strong squad, man. They have my boy Mitrovic up top. He's been Vlahovic too. But Mitrovic been balling out in the Prem, man. He's such a big presence, and Brazil's defense has always been a little lacking in that sense that they're much older. You have Thiago Silva back there. I don't know if he's starting or not. But attack-wise, Brazil is stacked, man. I should see a couple of goals in this game. I think Neymar scores. We'll see if Richarlison scores, but I think Brazil wins. I mean, they're one of the favorites for a reason. They've been balling out even before this. Serbia's had a couple of games before this, and they look like they won, but they really haven't played anyone.
Yeah. Brazil, I mean, granted, like when I see like Brazil versus Bolivia, I'm like, bro, it's gonna be like 6-0. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to diss on Bolivia. Like, shout out Bolivians. I have a bunch of Bolivian friends. Don't come after me. But
this whole area, yeah.
Same thing. I would say the same thing if like Brazil played Honduras
or Salvador. Yeah, it's gonna be the same thing.
It's gonna be like 6-0, bro. Like,
but, yeah.
But no. But you're right. Like at the end of the day, Serbia has a good team. They're gonna be a tough test for Brazil, but I think Brazil's just OP, man. If they get their heads down, and same thing. It's like a lot of these top teams, what they lack is defensively. Like every year, we're like Brazil offensively. We know what they have. It's the defense, and that's where I'm interested to see if they.
I say like 3-1 Brazil.
Okay. Yeah, I can agree with that. Real quick, France, Australia, 4-1. What do you think about that performance? I feel like they could have had like 6 goals.
So the game started a little slow. I mean, Australia ended up. I think they scored first. They scored first, and it was like, oh shoot, the World Cup curse or whatever. but it's I think a big part was I don't know why Lucas Hernandez started at left back. And unfortunately he tore his ACL. And his brother came in, but even before that, I was like, Theo Hernandez he's doing big things in the Serie A, and he should have started. And that was a big. I think, in my opinion, they kept attacking that left side, and he just kept running and running and distributing that ball. Those crosses were so good. I think he was a game changer for sure. I mean, France is stacked in general. I mean, you have Theo Hernandez and Kylian Mbappe on the left hand side. You're gonna be shook. You're gonna be shook no matter who you are. You can be prime Dani Alves, bro. Like, you're still gonna be shook.
Sorry.
No, you good.
That's another thing too, bro. Like when the Benzema injury happened, I'm like, damn, that's gonna be a big miss. Giroud just slotted in, and
Dude,
Giroud's like the gift that keeps on giving, bro. Like every time
it's
people like
crazy.
Giroud, it's like he's like
Because
all
he's
right,
not the most flashy player. Actually, though,
He's the ghost. This ghost.
shout out
to him, he's the ghost
Thierry
scorer.
Henry, bro. I think he overtook Thierry Henry's record now, or he tied his record. He's gonna pass. He's gonna be the all-time leading scorer. But it's crazy if you look at like his highlights, Giroud's highlights. They're all bangers, bro. I mean, there's like obviously this game there it's happens, but all bangers, bro. Like with Arsenal scorpion kick, fucking dude, volleys. Like this guy scores. If he doesn't score, he misses like easy chances because he will blow me. When he was at Arsenal, he missed the easiest chances, and he'll come back next game and fucking score like a fucking bicycle kick from like nowhere, bro. His goals are just they're crazy.
And teams always get him for cheap too.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys where it's like
It's like Moting, Choupo-Moting from Bayern Munich. That man has the best agent. That man plays for he's played for PSG, Bayern, for like every good team. Choupo-Moting. And I mean, he's not a bad player. I mean, he produces here and there when he comes off as a sub. Sometimes he gets a chance to start. But that guy has that's the best agent, man. That man plays for the best teams.
shout out.
Man, little interruption.
No, it's all good. But no, absolutely.
All right.